There are ways to live a life of ministry and go into a life of ministry that are outside of the norm. We don't necessarily glorify God just by making things for Christians, but they should be aimed to open the minds of non-Christians, non-believers to the love of Christ and to having a relationship with Christ.我個名係林常允，我就做呢個clothing brand 叫做316。我個 partner 住喺紐約度，佢叫做Andrew Chen。我哋做咗差唔多18年啦而家。如果你嘅爹哋係一個 pastor，every Sunday 去教會嗰陣時咧，就有好多 attention。第啲 parents 又 compare 佢哋 the kids to you, so there's more pressure in the church setting. I think in the missions organization, it was a different context, a different scenario, and so I didn't feel the same amount of pressure. So there were times where my parents would go away on long missions trips. And so they would take me on many of their missions trips with them. And I always look back on some of these trips. I see how they shaped my worldview, helped me gain a sense of compassion for people that live in very different scenarios than I do. As I got older and I reflected on those experiences, I have more of an appreciation for what God has blessed us with my family. 細嗰陣時有好多 freedom。我哋住嗰個城市係一個細嘅 small town called Petaluma in Northern California。差唔多 everybody was white， 西人嘅，成日講英文，梗係唔會講中文啦喺教會。好少亞洲人，好少中國人。我喺屋企嗰陣時咧就講廣東話，係一個好 Christian 嘅 household, very conservative. As I was growing up, I had two kind of separate lives. I had my school life and I had my Christian home life. It was almost like I was putting on separate masks. As you go to middle school and you go to high school, there's more of a desire to be liked or be popular. Then you feel more strongly this dichotomy, the widening gap of what Christian life is like and what survive socially in school. I had Christian friends, I was in leadership in the Bible club at school, and it's very easy to sort of flounder back and forth because in some situations, I really want this person to like me, so I'm gonna do this thing that I know is probably not so good, or I want this group of people to think that I'm cool, so I'm gonna do something that I wouldn't do in front of my parents. When you're young and you're so easily manipulated and you're still understanding yourself, it's very easy for your actions to not always match up with your core beliefs. Maybe towards the tail end of college or coming out of college where I made that decision that this is something that I truly believe in. It can't be your parents' relationship with Christ anymore. My relationship with Christ is something that I can't live without. And when I made that decision for myself, then it was easier for all of my actions to match more closely with my beliefs. I was surprised that after college, when I asked my parents if I should go to seminary, they told me no. Their reasoning was that if you go directly from university to seminary and then become a pastor, you really don't have any life experience. And so they said, go work, live your life, maybe start a family, and then if God calls you to become a pastor or come back to some form of traditional ministry, then make the decision. But as I got older, I have this desire, and that part of that is why I chose to design clothing, in expressing myself through aesthetics, through the way that I look and through the way that I dress and through other things. I waited until I was about 30, but when I was 30, I started getting tattooed. And this is way more extreme than bleaching your hair or getting earrings. Earrings you can remove. Dyeing your hair grows out and it goes away. Getting tattooed is permanent. This is a very traditional artwork called Agnus Dei. It is a representation of Christ as the Lamb. What is called a wood etching style. There is a Christian artist, his name is Albrecht Dürer. He was a German artist. He created prints by carving the artwork into blocks of wood and then putting ink over them and stamping them. And so many of my tattoos are done in that etching style. But I didn't do it without talking to my parents first.
我仔大概30歲，有一日嚟同我同牧師話，佢要紋身。我哋咧對呢件事係好愕然，但係咧我哋又冇硬性嘅去阻止佢。我哋就係對佢話唔想去紋身，但係咧佢嘅生命係神俾佢嘅。我哋希望我哋唔係管佢，係引導佢。
She said, if you think Jesus is okay with this, and there are a lot of factors to think. If you feel like you will not cause other people to stumble, if you feel at peace with your actions, if you believe that it doesn't hinder your relationship with Christ and that He's okay with your actions, then okay.
佢要學習點樣去真正嘅明白神喺佢生命裏邊嗰個計劃同埋引導，所以我哋冇阻止佢，希望佢能夠同神直接建立呢個關係。我哋都同時學習，我哋點樣去接納我哋嘅兒女，唔係按着我哋心目中嗰個喜好去生活，我哋都要學習佢哋嘅生命係由神嚟到管理，對我哋係一個好大嘅學習過程咯。
Because I love them and I care about them and I care about what they think about me and I want to make them proud, I think that helps me strive for success in what I'm doing now. And it's maybe traditionally something that Chinese Christian parents would not be very supportive of, to start a t-shirt brand or a clothing brand. They were always positive and they always encouraged me and they were open-minded to the opportunity that I had.